Hey guys, welcome back. Tisha here, back for another Love Islands Beyond the Villa. This is season 1, episode 3. I'm gonna jump off camera because, as you can see, I barely got on any clothes and I just, I don't feel like it. Anyways, do me a favor, hit the like button as we jump into it. So the episode starts off with Liv, Kaylor, and Janae still at this whole lunch situation where Janae kind of tricked them into talking to one another. They go back and forth. It's the same conversation over and over again about the camera and hurt feelings and the fact that Kaylor called out Liv in front of everybody and how embarrassed she was and how hurt she was and how Kaylor doesn't feel like she can trust Liv and blah, blah, blah. Neither one of them understand where the other one is coming from. So them talking in circles to me doesn't really resolve the issue. It's still a thing where you're going to have this thing festering beneath the surface because you haven't really addressed how to handle this in the future or what needs to be done in order for trust to try to be rebuilt. But despite them not really resolving it the way I thought they should, in my opinion, Liv still invites her to a housewarming that she's having. It makes me wonder, did Liv permanently move to LA? Because I understand like a lot of the cast, well, let me not say a lot of the cast, some of the cast like Kenny and Janae and Aaron and Kendall, well, not, well, is Kendall one of them? Because we haven't really seen Kendall in his house. We know some of the cast only are there for the purposes of filming this show. We know that Janae has said in other interviews, I think one of them was with Keke Palmer, that the only way she agreed to even come to LA is if they did actually have work for her to do. She didn't want to be faking it too much on camera. So we know that some of them don't really live there. And I wonder if this is a thing where Liv is actually going to be living there. So Kaylor cries, claiming that she misses her best friend and her sister a lot. And that person that she's talking about is Liv. So they do hug it out, and they seem to be like they're going to try to kind of maneuver through this thing. Both of them say it's not anything that will be resolved right away, but hopefully in time it can get better. So we go from that to Connor and Aaron. Matter of fact, I hope y'all can see me a little bit. Let me give you a little taste of myself, just a little taste. Here I am. Here I am. We go to Connor and Aaron. So here's my problem, right? With Connor and Aaron. I don't understand why they keep on trying to shove Connor down our faces. And every time they show the two of them together at this point, I don't know if it's production or what, but y'all keep on mentioning Janae and Kenny. This time it's because he invited Kenny to go surfing with them and he didn't come. He and Aaron are making comments like the reason why he didn't come is because he's not allowed to come and that she keeps Kenny on a short leash and all these things. And I'm just wondering, when did Aaron begin to have a problem with Janae? Because Aaron is running his mouth a lot too, and it's getting on my nerves. If you really want to resolve things, if Connor really wants Janae to let this go, then he might want to stop sitting around with Aaron and talking crap about both Kenny and his girl. That doesn't work. At first, I wanted Janae to kind of resolve this and talk to him, but as each episode goes on, I understand more and more why it's not happening, because Connor is a fake and a phony, and there's so many different undertones there when it comes to the way that he speaks about Janae, and I just don't like it. This time we are introduced to Aaron's brother again, who's there, and he's going to be there for this week. And then him and Aaron are going back home. After they're done surfing, they go from that to talking about Kendall, because apparently Kendall is always trying to capture a moment, to the point where he tried to pull out his phone during a party to get a TikTok. And Aaron was like, no, 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 because he doesn't want to be a part of it. Aaron feels like true friends and people who are really enjoying one another don't have to sit there and post things. Like, if you're having fun with your real friends, you're not going to do that. I personally feel like you can do both. I have friends that when we go out, prime example, the other day we went and celebrated one of my friends who recently had a birthday. And this was a big birthday for her because less than a year ago, she had to have open heart surgery out of nowhere because she got an infection in her heart that then ate at her valve, and she survived it. And we really, really wanted to celebrate her. And you can see the various people taking out their phone and capturing pictures and taking pictures of their food because we went to a really fancy spot, all girls, and we had a really, really great time. I think that at the table, there was 9 of us, and out of the 9 of us, I probably am the only person who never took out my phone to take a picture. I very much so have been this person for many, many years that kind of lives in the moment. And there are times where I'll be like, you guys, just make sure you send me that just so I can have it. Because, sometimes I do kind of wish I pulled out my phone because you like to go back and look at some things, and it's nice to have those memories. But I don't feel like you should be judged for doing so if you do so in a way that's not like overbearing. If you allow people to have natural moments with you, not like you're always trying to create something for a TikTok. Um Basically, the conversation boils down to the fact that they have a problem with some of the cast now using their platforms more so to be influencers. I'm a little confused about what the problem is with them being influencers, because we see various clips of all of them at various points making TikToks and doing things like that. And Connor, who was sitting there talking about these other people who have now become influencers, Connor himself has done some videos because they showed us him telling people how to prepare this meal or whatever. So it's giving like, why is it that you can do it, but they can't do it? Is it that you're upset, or are you jealous because they've been able to maintain additional income since leaving the show by doing this? Like, what's the real issue here? Not only that, if you're so upset with it, why are you back on our screens? See, they're trying to sit here and judge them for making money and creating other income, additional income, because they're going to ride this wave as long as they can, because at some point people aren't going to be following them as much. Look at these girls versus, like, I don't know, Huda. Huda has more followers than some of the girls who were on this cast. So it just goes to show you that, at one point you may attract this group of people and at another you may not. Let them enjoy it while they can. So we go from that to seeing Kenny and Miguel. They're out for a hike. Kenny lets him know about the invite that he got to go surfing and how he did not go. He says, like, at the end of the day, yes, he's supporting Janae, but it's not a thing like he really hangs out with Connor. He wishes that everyone could get along. I don't understand why Connor is trying so hard to include Kenny in things, because he was closer to other guys in the villa. So why didn't you invite any of them? It has me feeling like you're making sure that you invite Kenny just so you can talk bad about Kenny for not showing up. And I don't like it. I wonder if this would even be a discussion if they weren't on the show, because I don't think that they naturally hang out with them. I know that PPG and their men hang together. I know that Kenny and Kendall hang out sometimes, and Janae will come because, she's supporting her man. I know that Liv and them have hung out together. Like, it's just everybody in this group doesn't always hang together. So it's like, why are we talking about this? Anyway, so Kenny is loving LA more than he thought he would. He's enjoying all the things that they can do in LA. And at this point, he's still trying to figure things out in terms of what his next move is going to be when it comes to him and Janae, because they don't live in the same state. He's in Texas, she's in Las Vegas. He says that he isn't in a rush to move right away. He wants to take things slow. He likes the pace. Whereas with Miguel and Leah, they're kind of doing things a little bit differently, because Miguel, once he came here, he hasn't left. He went home to get his visa and then he came back and he was back by her side. Leah still stays in her large home with her family, and Miguel has his own apartment. But a lot of times, Leah is with Miguel. Excuse me. So their plans are to eventually, they've already started trying to look into a home. He lives downtown. She lives in a more residential area, closer to her animals and things of that nature. So they want to make sure that they get a house that's not too far from her family's home. That way it's easy for her to, see her animals and things of that nature. He says that, he initially wanted to move as slow as Kenny in the beginning as well, but being with Leah has really opened up something else in him that he feels like she's bringing out the best in him. And I love watching the way he talks about her and the way that she talks about him. I think, and Miguel kind of admitted it in the beginning when he was on Love Island, when he did his tape and all those other things, he initially put on a little bit that he acted like more of a player than he was, because he knew that it would help him to get on the show. But he was pleasantly surprised by Leah, and you can tell that they have a genuine connection with one another. I actually am finding myself really, really liking them a lot. I like them a lot. So as I said, they spend a lot of time together. He advises Kenny to do it at his pace and don't be afraid to kind of embrace the challenge that comes with all of this. So we get into another like segment with Aaron, and it's another let us feel bad for him segment. I don't doubt that Aaron had struggles, but we're not going to sit here and act like Aaron hasn't done some jacked up things and then you're wondering why the public calls you out. Now, me personally, I don't feel like you guys should ever go as far as writing a whole bunch of negative things under someone's pictures and seeking them out and stuff like that. I feel like it's okay if you tweet like Aaron is a jerk or whatever, but to go under his picture and say some of the things that they, retweeted or whatever, I think that's a bit much. So we see Aaron and his brother preparing a meal. He speaks on the struggles that all of this created, not just for him, but for his family, in particular his mother. He says that he got online and there was so much hate from the fans that his mom ended up getting upset. He thinks that, it kind of took its toll on her. He also said, because his brother and him talk about their parents' separation and divorce, and he feels like it kind of messed him up, and he told Kaylor about it. And what happened was, according to him, when they were in New York, he and Kaylor, he's not saying why, which I'm thinking is because he revealed more information about Daniela. I don't know if you know, put it down below. But Kaylor and Aaron got into another argument, and she threw that in his face. Like, she probably must have said something like, you're just like your father, or maybe she said something along the lines of, maybe you have daddy issues. I don't know what she said, but she said something to him where he felt like she was out of line. He claims that they were fine, everything was great, and then after Liv came, it got worse. I'm so tired of him continuing to blame Liv for things. You're the reason why things went badly, because unlike Cordell, you weren't honest. Even when she gave you multiple opportunities to be honest, you still weren't honest. Even after movie night, you or Daniela wasn't honest. Because Daniela, you're still on my list, hun. I'm still side-eyeing you because you lied about a lot of stuff too. But my point is, you keep blaming everyone else around you. You are your own person. Liv is her own person, as is Kaylor. You're getting a reaction out of Kaylor because Kaylor keeps seeing the internet, and Kaylor is very much so affected by the things that are being said. She admitted it herself. What part did you play, Aaron? So we go from that to seeing Kendall, Torin, Kaylee, which is Kaylor's best friend, and Louie meet up for Kaylee's last night. Apparently, a lot of them hung out at Stagecoach together. I hope I'm saying it right. And Caleb was there, and he barely paid any attention to Kaylor. Now we know, and we were told prior, that they were making out in the porta potty that was at Coachella. So I guess she thought that they were going to get the same energy because he's hung out with her since. But this time he went from making out with her 1 minute at Coachella to the next acting like he didn't even know the girl. And he even went as far as telling her, we're not dating or anything like that, because I guess maybe she was trying to like be up under him. So he treated her like that. Then at some point he flies back into LA and he hits her up trying to see if he can come over. And she's like, you're not about to come over here after you treated me like that. You're not about to treat me like I'm some booty call or something like that. So now she's not really feeling him. Now, This has been made aware apparently to multiple people in their dynamic. I don't know if they have a group text or what, but a few people know about this. One of them is Kendall. Now, rather than Kendall being a good friend, Kendall calls the guy and invites him to dinner. In my opinion, Kendall will always be messy and inconsiderate when it comes to the girls. They acted like Kendall was this great guy in the villa and he just had gave great advice and all those other things, but I never saw Kendall as a great guy. I always saw Kendall as somebody who was trying to get money and he was willing to do whatever he needed to do in order to get that. But here you are now and you're causing a mess. Not that it really matters because spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you don't know, I was on TikTok the other day and Kayla is dating Torin, which was another guy that I believe was at the table because on TikTok she says my boyfriend, introducing my boyfriend to my family, and it was him. So Caleb really, it doesn't matter. Anyways, he comes in and it's awkward. And the moment I saw him, I was like, Taylor really does have this habit of picking F boys. The way that he looked with his wife beater and his shorts on. Now, I knew he said he didn't have any clothes, but he just looked dirty and greasy to me when he came in and he sat down. And the way that he was looking at her and how awkward it was, I was cringing. And she herself tells us that it was awkward. So she's not feeling him that more either. Because when her and her friend go to the bathroom, she's like, after Stagecoach, I just So we see Leah and Miguel meet up for a lunch date. I love seeing them on my screen. I really do. He lets us know that he is in love with her and he falls more and more in love with her each day. She's the yin to his yang. She's nervous because she has a biopsy to do the next day because she's had I can't remember if she describes it as lumps or bumps, but she has, some growth on her arm and she needs to get it checked out. um they're going to have to biopsy it, and depending on what it's looking like, they may have to cut it. So Miguel encourages her not to dive into the negative because he knows that she naturally is going to do that and she's going to worry and be concerned and all those other things. But he's telling her like there's power in the mind and I want you to like focus on having that positive thinking, which is very true. When you're going through stuff like this, mental is important. But either way, he's going to make sure that he is there for her to make the process easier for her. Love it, love it, love it. We see Janae and Kenny. They're doing like TikTok stuff or Instagram stuff where they're answering questions. He's answering questions about her and he's filling out a lot of them. She says she does not like to call herself influencer. She calls herself a suggester. She says it really became a thing after she got out the villa and she saw how quickly her followers were keeping up, and Janae is going to make it do what it does. Janae likes to make money. She said this even when she was on Keke Palmer, like how she started doing things and having multiple streams of income. The girl isn't afraid to try something out. So she's doing what I feel like a lot of them should do, which is take advantage of the moment while they have it. Kenny is not as outgoing as her, but he is slowly coming out of his shell. We later see them get ready for Liv's housewarming. Kenny and Janae are calling Leah and Miguel on FaceTime. They're at the home store or home goods shopping. Oh, y'all, I love the way I get caught up. I used to go every week to see what was new in there. But yeah, it's like I need to sit my butt down somewhere. There's no point. Like really no point. My man has given me permission to help him decorate, and the way I can't wait to get a hold of like the pillows and stuff and them curtains that his mama put up that I can't stand. Anyways, yeah. Home goods, I can get lost in there. So Janae's like, get me a couch, and Leah's like, sure, what would which one you want me to get, sis? So they talk about Liv's housewarming and to see, because they really called to see, because Kenny was like, is PPG going? And she's like, I know Serena and Cordell are going, but I don't know about Leah. So he's like, call her. So she lets her know what's going on, that she is struggling with being present, even when it comes to stuff as simple as the housewarming, because of everything that's going on. She tells her that she went in, they ended up cutting off those bumps off of her arm, and they're going to test it to see if it is cancerous, if it's skin cancer, and it's going to take 10 to 14 days to let her know. Janae instantly like, you know what, don't worry about it. We're going to pray, friend, that it's not going to be, and all those things. And she thanks her. And, you know, Miguel has her back. That's got to be scary. And I'm hoping that all is well. So we get back to Kayla, who is lonely and still feeling weird about her and Liv. She doesn't plan to stay long at Liv's housewarming, but she feels like going is, you know, kind of taking a step. At this point, she knows that she wants to focus on herself. So we see that Cordell is back in on our screens with Milo on his back. He goes to visit Serena with, you know, her future stepson Milo. And before he even took before he even took that cat out the bag, I knew it was gonna be a thing, because he literally had on a book bag and turned around and there was Milo. Now she looks nervous. She's freaked out by how big Milo is and how slinky she says he is and the way he's looking at her. And then to make matters worse, when he's let out, he jumps up because that's what cats do. And he's jumping on stuff. And she's like, I can't. So he takes the cat and puts him back in the bag. And she's like, the cat is cute. And you see her walk over once he's in the bag, and she like puts her hand by the holes that are in the bag so he can like sniff and she can feel. But you can tell she's nervous. She's like, she has to work on this. She says, the cat is cute. Watching Cordell with the cat is cute. And I'm trying to be friends with the cat, but this is hard. We got to do baby steps, baby steps. So Cordell decides, like, okay, I'm not about to sit here. He doesn't say it, but basically he's not about to sit there and have his cat like chilling in the book bag while he's trembling. So he's like, okay, I need to go, but I need to get my hair done. But he's basically going to go because he got to get his cat back in a place where he can just roam freely, right? And where Serena's not as scared. So they kiss and he leaves. Janae and Kenny, oh, it's party time. Janae and Kenny are the first to arrive at Liv's. Liv tells us that it's hard being out here, that everyone has their family, but she really doesn't have a lot of people. And that is true, because Liv can't just hop on a plane and drive for and ride for an hour or two and then she's home. Her family is in Australia. So it's different for her. And she probably can't come and go as she wants to either, because work visas are funky, and you got to make sure that you stay for the amount of time. You can lose your visa if you don't do things the right way. So Kayla ends up calling Janae to ask her what she's wearing. She's like, I changed my outfit. I have on a dress. I think all the other girls had on jeans. Janae was the only one that looked like she was about to go out to dinner or a club or something. Kendall continues to be messy. We find out that he invited Caleb to Liv's. Liv is your house. Just tell him he can't come, which I think she did say. Other people start arriving, including non-islanders. Liv has a balcony and a bartender and a full spread. It looks nice. I love her color scheme. My favorite color is blue. And I love how she put a pop of pink and things of that nature to brighten up the room. Aaron arrives and he tells us that he thinks that Liv turned on Casa Amor to get Kayla fired up right before the reunion. He's going to forever be the victim, and I'm over it. Kenny is now telling Aaron, they're talking. He's like, you know, living the life of the influencer is different. I miss my job. I miss having to go to meetings. I miss having to talk to clients. I miss how mentally stimulating it was. And I just still don't understand why you can't do both. Maybe it's a hindrance because it would be something that they want you to do full time. But imagine how many more people he could probably get with his I can't remember what type of sales he was doing, but imagine how much more people he could get doing that, and then having this show. Like, he would probably rack up. Kenny lets Aaron know that he isn't close to Connor. That's why he didn't come, but you know, maybe with time the situation can be resolved. Aaron was trying to get him to say that it was because of Janae, but he wouldn't say that it was because of Janae. Kendall arrives with his friend Louie. As soon as he arrived, Janae is telling Kenny like, oh, everybody's mad at him. So Liv asks Kendall why he invited Caleb, especially because of the way things are with her and Kaylor, that they're not good. They're not on good terms. They're trying to work things out, and this may cause another rift. He, of course, doesn't feel like he did anything wrong. He says it's not that deep. But if you're a good friend, you wouldn't keep trying to force Kaylor to be around someone who mistreated her. But Kendall is selfish. He likes to act like he's not, but he's selfish. Um, Kaylor ends up arriving. uh Liv calls her over. No, Kaylor calls. Oh, Kaylor and Liv and Kendall are in the same vicinity, and she's not feeling Kendall. She finds out what happened, and she's like, "Look, I just want you to think about somebody other than yourself for once." I think that's reasonable. We see Serena and Cordell arrive. I didn't see many people bring her a gift, but he presented her with a gift. I'm guessing an expensive bottle of wine. Aaron and Kaylor talk. They catch up. The subject of significant others comes up. Aaron tells her to stop going for people who want to be famous because she lets him know that it didn't work out with the Caleb guy. Because, of course, even though he tries to act like he's not watching, he's watching her. You saying that your mom is sending you stuff. Aaron, you're looking online too. He asks her again if she's happy. She says that she's grateful, but she was happier with the other life other than this. I just say go back to it. You're going to be recognized, but you don't have to be an influencer. I feel like if you wanted to go to school and you want to do these things, go back to school. There are famous people who are way more famous than the people on Love Island who've done it all the time. She can do it. It may require an adjustment, it may require some pivots, but it's not like she can't do it. Both she and Aaron are going to see their families in a couple of days. They're both excited. They agree that they hate LA. She still sleeps in one of his shirts. She tells him she can give it back to him, but she likes sleeping in it. He tells her that he worries about her, that seeing her sad broke him a little. He wants her to put herself first. She tells him she's not okay. She feels lost. She's overworked. She needs a break. Take your break. Mental health is so important. And even though Kaylor gets on my nerves, when she was saying that, I felt really, really sorry for her in that moment because you can tell that she isn't happy. But I also feel like Kaylor looks for happiness in people, in friends, in men. I want Kaylor to be happy on her own. I want it to be a situation where she doesn't need a guy in order to make her feel great, or she doesn't need a best friend. She has problems sitting in silence. So Aaron tells her this whole thing about how some people are leaves and branches and roots and all those other things. And basically he's like, you need to decide whether Liv is a leaf or she's a branch. And she's like, yeah, that's what she's trying to do. They talk some more. It's cold, so he gives her his jumper, as he calls it, but his hoodie. They're comfortable with each other, which she says. He then tells her that he has not slept with anyone since her, because she asks, of course, and he wants to be able to hang out. He suggests that they play paddle tennis, and she asks if it's a date, and that's how it ends. Kaylor very much so still wants this man. She does. I know that there's always going to be love there for one another, but it's very clear to me that she like wants him, because the way that she is with him, the way that she looks at him and talks to him, and of course my signal is going bad, so let me get off camera. And it would be interesting to see, there it goes, it would be interesting to see what comes of this season. You all let me know what you thought of this episode. If there's something that I missed that you want to talk about, feel free to mention it down below. Still a good season. I want more of the couples. Please stop showing me so much Connor and Aaron. I could really, really do without it. And I don't want to talk about Liv and Kaylor anymore. Hopefully this is it. We saw Cordell and Serena in this episode, but it wasn't a lot. But I wasn't mad at it. I just feel like there's so much more than what they're showing us, because I'm more entertained sometimes on TikTok than this. But you know, what can I say? We're here. Anyways, let me know what you thought. Until next time.